Welcome back to the Green Room Podcast. This is episode 12 now.
Welcome back to 96.4 The Heat, brother. This is The Heat. We're here at the Franklin Theater, brother. It's The Heat. Sorry. I wanted to come in hot like it's
brother.
Yeah, brother. Macho Man Randy Savage here to tell you it's hot.
I am not Randy
so
Savage.
Hot in here.
And it's so...
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
Wait. Just don't say anything. See if they can hear the fans. You guys hear that? There's like 5 fans in this room, and I'm still sweating. I can tell you're sweating. I can tell you're...
Okay. Yeah, it's hot, dude. Sorry, bigger fellows sweat.
I'm Massimo and Brendan. And next to me,
I am your radio host of today's 96.4 The Heat, Brendan Ayton.
96.4 The Heat?
Yeah, whatever.
Is that from somewhere? Or
no, I'm just making it up on the spot.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
It sounds legit.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I try.
I like 105.9 The Rock if you're in Nashville.
That's taken. Okay.
I know, but just we're shouting out radio stations now.
Anyway, if you notice, the guitars might be moving all episode just because of the fans. So I hope that one doesn't mess up our focus on the cameras, and that it also.
Oh shoot! I don't know if you guys have noticed. So I do all the camera stuff here. We've got both of our phones, my phone, Brendan's phone, and then this main thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. You're lucky. You just mix the audio and then you're out. Don't roll your eyes.
Let's slow down.
You got the easy job here.
Okay. You're just saying that because you're also an audio guy, so you know that you know it too. Okay? I just don't know. If I knew camera stuff, I would help. I just don't know anything. And so it'd be dumb.
I don't know anything.
Well, you know more than I do, so it'd be dumb for me to try to
I know
jump
how to
in.
turn it. I remember the first. I don't know if you guys remember the first few episodes looked atrocious. That's because I didn't know what I was doing. All right.
I also upload them to all the stuff, which
we don't have to,
which
because
has been
I would
problematic.
Oh,
so
freaking weed.
I don't have the
transfer.
easiest jobs in the world. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, it's really hot in here.
Yeah, in the lovely Franklin Theater.
Hey, it happens.
Downtown Franklin. It's an old building. It's
gets
okay.
Hot.
It's okay, buddy. You're doing your best.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm tired.
Me too. I know I came in hot there, but I'm so exhausted.
We're both really tired today, so we're just gonna.
It was a long weekend here at the theater.
We're just gonna see what's gonna happen today with the episode, and we'll talk about.
So on Thursday was
Larry Carlton.
Guys,
Larry freaking Carlton.
With who was the drummer again?
Keith Carlock,
yeah.
Man, I was geeking out I was next to Dewey, our security guard, and I was like, I wanted to fangirl this whole time.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I held myself together. I didn't.
But
I did get a set list.
I was jealous.
Yeah, you were.
I've seen a lot of videos from the show. It looks awesome. Yeah, that was a good show. You just did what? Did you just stagehand? You just set up the stage and stuff?
Yeah.
There's no.
And then I watched the whole thing.
And you just watched.
Yeah, Matt.
That's the best.
Matt was monitors, and they had their own front of house guy. So.
You know, I do enjoy like the AV part and like doing the video and the screen stuff, but sometimes it's the best when it's just a band that's easy to set up, good players, come in, set them up, and then you just watch the show, tear down, and leave. It's the best parts of the job.
Unlike some other bands that we get in here.
Well, sometimes it's just more of a complicated setup.
Well,
and
they
then,
got more stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
and then it's like you still feel the rewarding feeling though if you're not like doing anything during the show because you're so busy. You know what I mean? Like it's still rewarding to watch it after a long, annoying setup or whatever. You know what I mean? The other night we had the Leonard Cohen tribute band. That was fun.
I wasn't here for that. How was that?
It was fun. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot of Leonard Cohen's music other than
you don't?
Hallelujah. To be completely honest, thought it was Jeff Buckley's song. I didn't know that Leonard Cohen wrote it. So sorry. I was born in 01. Sue me.
I mean, so was I.
But but you know
I'm
it.
the one sitting here in the Journey concert.
Exactly.
Sure.
It makes sense that you know it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a good show. The next day, you and I had a big one.
What was it?
Will Hogue. Dude.
Oh. Guys,
turn your brain on.
My brain. Let me drink some more coffee. It's too hot in here, and it's too early in the morning.
What was that? Saturday. Sorry. Saturday, we had Will Hogue, who's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Okay, when he walked in, I thought it was 3 people coming.
Slow down. I was getting there.
I know.
Slow down.
I thought we'd get right there right now. Don't you dare percent shade me.
You just said it wrong.
I don't care.
Anyway, he was like a big singer-songwriter. He wrote I forget the name of the song.
Oh, you don't.
Eli Young Band covered it. He got nominated for a Grammy. ACM
told a great story about it too. Yeah,
it was a funny story.
He was funny.
I don't want to spoil it. You got to go see his show to watch it.
That's right.
So I was doing front of house for it, and Massimo was doing monitors. But it was like we were running it. Like it wasn't like somebody sets it up and
no one was holding our hand.
Yes,
we were doing it
exactly.
So
it was real. It wasn't any.
It was So how was it?
Well, first,
so we have a Digico SD12. So how?
Well,
how
first let's get to what you're. So we thought that it was going to be a three-piece.
You want to do that now? You want to do that?
Yeah, it makes sense in the story. You got to set up who it is and then tell the story.
So on the plot, we had 3 different stations. We had stage left, center, right. Stage left had a piano, center had a DI, and stage right had an electric guitar.
Yeah,
that's 57 for an amp.
Yep, and a vocal at each station.
Yes,
and a monitor at each station.
Yeah. Yep. And Will gets here. It's like, oh yeah, it's just me. I was like,
oh great, just you. And then he didn't have an electric guitar,
so I was scratch stage right.
Scratch that. Well, then he scratched that, but he was like, I might have to sit down and play this one guitar. So maybe we'll have this station on stage right for if I have to sit down and play it. So it's like a different thing. And then we found a strap here that he could use, so we just ended up striking it completely.
No, he didn't even use a strap.
No, you did.
No, I gave it back to Richard.
Oh. All right, well, he figured it out somehow. I think he found a strap or something. Anyway.
I don't know. But anyway,
it was great. I thought it was good.
front of house. How was it?
Well, my thing is that we didn't have the longest sound check, so I was more making sure nothing was blowing up and that I was tonally in the area I want. I wish I had more time, but he was all by himself and he had his kid with him, so he had to set up merch. He had to
kid. He wasn't like 2.
I mean, yeah, come on, but his kid was
like
with him.
13 or something.
Okay, whatever.
And he was not like. He was out of the way. He was doing his thing. You made it sound like the kid was like in the way. He wasn't in the way.
No, but he had his kid with him. He's a dad. He's got to watch his kid and be with his kid. He can't be at soundcheck for 3 hours. It's one guy.
I'm sure the kid gets it.
Anyway, God. Anyway, it was fine. At soundcheck, I kind of was just testing it, kind of just making sure that I didn't blow anything up and that I wasn't going to feed anything back. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
The usual stuff.
Yeah. And then I thought it was good. I didn't want the guitars to be annoyingly bright, but I didn't want them to be dark. And so I just actually...
You want it to be just right.
Well, yeah. And so what I did, I had actually a decent amount of reverb on it, but the reverb was pretty dark. So you didn't really notice it. But when the tails needed to be there, you heard it ring out. So it was nice because it helped. I didn't have to really put any of the acoustic in the sub. Yeah. But that kind of filled that mid-low range.
High-passed it, right?
Yeah, but up to like 100 maybe, and then I cut some stuff out. But then I also had a multi-band on it, and that was getting...
On the reverb or the guitar?
The guitar.
Oh.
Just for the low end.
Yeah.
To control it when he palm muted and stuff like that, and that bigger stuff. And then I thought the guitars were great, actually. The keys... The patch that was on that keyboard was kind of weird. It was very scooped.
It sounded a little muddy.
It was scooped, and then he played very dynamically.
He did.
So he played really hard, and that's when you'd hear the brilliance of it. But he was mostly like when he's quiet, it's just mud craziness.
Yeah, and I could hear that.
I'll be honest, I struggled with that, but he only played it twice, so it was fine. The vocals, I thought from front of house that you can. Tell me if you disagree, but I thought that he had a lot of his vocal on stage.
He did.
So I didn't need a lot of the mid-range in the speakers because it was coming from the stage. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I still had mid-range, don't get me wrong, but
it was coming mostly from...
Yeah.
You didn't have to...
I thought it sounded pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I was really on top of each song, changing the decays and the lengths of the reverbs and the feedback on the delay depending on what it was. I thought it was good. I posted a picture on my story of my view from the console like right before the show started.
I saw that.
Well,
you didn't tag me.
Well, 'cause I didn't tell you what Justin Liu, who we've talked about a few times on the podcast, love Justin. He slid up on it and goes, "Oh, you like to scoop your mids?" Or something. I was like, "Come on, dude." Come on. The first time that I do front of house for myself, you got to comment on it? Are you kidding me? God.
Justin,
I couldn't
love you.
I couldn't stop thinking about it all day yesterday.
That he said that?
Yes, I brought it up to Matt. I brought it up to Richard. I brought it up to Shay. I
That's
couldn't stop thinking.
hilarious.
It drove me crazy. Because it's like, yeah, but I also had a multi-band on stuff that was controlling the low end so that he had a good, rich low end in his vocal, but it wasn't crazy. So you just
chopped everything out, is what you're saying?
I just was... I think there's different mixing philosophies, and I'm under the philosophy where I want to have everything controlled so nothing blows up on me. You know what I mean? And I don't mean blowing up,
I'm making fun
everything
of you,
up compression-wise, but like
fun of you.
Multi-stage, multi-band compression with different ratios so that nothing blows up and everything just kind of sits. So that if I want more low end on the EQ, I can just give it and nothing's going to blow up on me. Same way if I want less, just take it out and the high end isn't going to blow up on me. But in doing that with the stage volume and stuff, when you look at just the EQs visually, it looks like there's, like high end and there's a little bit of low end and the mids are kind of gone. So visually, but I'm just in my head about it. Ever since Justin said it, I've been in my head.
I couldn't tell. Wow.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
No, this is after...
I thought it was good, and I had one awesome delay. Sorry. Last song, I had one awesome delay throw. I changed, because normally you do like the eighth note, like tap tempo. I did half note, so it would just repeat the last line completely a beat after. And he had one, like, he said, like, my last name. And then after that, the delay, my last name. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was just like the record.
I didn't hear it.
I know you didn't, because you probably couldn't hear it from... Shay pointed it out. Shay heard it, and she was like, I liked it. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you. And then my final thing, at the end of the show, his mom said that she loved the sound and she thought it was awesome. So
she did.
I got mom's approval, which is most important. All right, I'm off my soapbox. How was monitored?
I was going to say like 5 things during that, and I can't remember anything. Oh, well, this mids, the scoop and stuff, that comes after we just had 2 shows here where guys did like nothing to any of the channels or to the mains. Like it was the Tom Petty guy and Larry Carlton's guy.
Yeah.
They came in and I just look, as you do, you peek at the session. You don't touch it, but you just look at it. And the Tom Petty guy, high pass and low pass stuff, and there was maybe some compression. There's a fly in here. Sorry.
It's all right. Just keep going.
No, I can't. Okay.
God. Come on.
And but he didn't like do anything drastic. It was like tiny little notches and stuff. And I was like, well, I must have done something to the main PAs. And then he didn't do anything. It was all flat.
When you have, like I was talking about with Matt, he's like, it's different when you have Keith Carlock and Larry Carlton. They know how to play, so you don't have to do a ton. You know what I mean? Like,
I
know how to play darker and brighter.
I know. And the same thing, Larry Carlton guy didn't even use compression, anything, no gates,
and not that Will didn't know how to do that, but when it's one guy on just singing and playing guitar, it'd still sound fine if I just plugged it in, but I feel like there'd be clashing. You know what I mean?
And I'm not saying that to discredit what you were doing. I'm just like, it was.
There's different philosophies.
It was crazy to me how other guys can come here and like. Some guys come in here and chop this and crank that, and
I'm kind of think I'm more of that guy.
I
think, but when you listen to my mixes, which you just did, which we don't need to get into, I do the same thing. I don't like letting. It drives me crazy to import a channel and do nothing to it.
Why? What if it doesn't need anything?
Well, if it doesn't, it always needs something.
No,
it always does. No. Even if it's just a little bit of compression or to take a little bit of muddiness or something out. I have never had an instance where something's perfect.
I have.
In my opinion. But I also think it's because I mix very produced and like I don't like the overheads ever. I want my drum sounds to be from the direct mics. So in doing that, everything else kind of drum-wise, that your overheads turn into your cymbal mics and your rooms turn into your pseudo drum mics. And your enforcement. But if you mix with your overheads first, you're just using your direct mics for different things. It's just different philosophies. I just don't like.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying you have a recorded something, and you're like, that sounds great. I don't need to do anything to that. That's what I'm saying. I
haven't had that, but I also think it's because the thing I'm working on right now, we're kind of making it sound.
Well,
like
I'm not
something.
saying what you're working on right now. I'm just saying,
at
any time.
I don't think so.
Send us your stems and we.
Yeah, send us a stem so take a mix and then mute that single stem and then send it to us separately. Let's see if it actually is perfect without anything on it.
Yeah, let's see if you like go in and jank
And it might
up.
be. I think if you want to mix modern, everything's got to be touched.
Yeah, not if it's recorded well.
It's hard to get that without being with A-listers.
No.
Difference of opinion. Anyway, monitors.
We have it's an old Yamaha. I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know what it's called.
It's like this late '90s, early 2000s analog Yamaha console, and I've come to really like it. It's got its little quirks because it's it's 20 plus years old.
I like it for monitors. If it was doing front of house, it'd drive me crazy.
Well, it used to be the front of house thing.
I know.
Right?
It would drive me crazy if it was.
It's just like there's a little trackpad like you would have on a laptop, but like half the size, and it's so janky.
I do think though that console has better sounding effects than the SD12.
Really?
The reverbs on that, and also that has like 1176s, LA2As. It's got like SSL EQs on it. Like that thing's nice.
No, it does not.
You've got to go into the computer. You can't put it on the channel. You have to do it parallel. But there are 1176s.
I was just
like
on the
in
channel.
your reverbs. You can just keep shuffling through, and there's compressors and limiters and effects.
Yeah, I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
Well, Will didn't want.
Yeah, normally you don't, but I just was looking at it one day. I was like, this thing has got everything on it.
Well, speaking of that, I literally high passed some stuff. I took out a little bit of top end on like the guitars, and he was like, "Great."
Yeah.
And that was it. I did nothing the whole night because he walked in. I had high pass stuff like vocals, it's like 160 or something, and then piano and guitars like 100 or so, around there. Took off some top end from the acoustics, and that was literally it. And then it was just a matter of getting the level he wanted, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I could have left.
I mean, it went great. I think it went great.
It was great.
Yeah. Regardless of what anybody says in my Instagram DMs, I think it went great.
Yeah, Justin.
No, it's fine. I'm just very self-conscious sometimes.
It's okay. Well, Justin can come on the show and voice his opinions.
Yeah. Come on the show and tell me that I should have had the mids there.
Yeah, Justin.
No,
I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Tell it to his face.
No, I don't want to start any. I don't want any beef. I don't want any beef. Please, no. I just want a career. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Oh my god.
Don't be tired. Come on,
guys. Come on. I didn't get home till like midnight last night, and I had to get up at like 6 a.m. this morning.
That's crazy. It's like there was a time change. Like that time you went to Europe.
That is the worst transition you've ever done.
I think it was pretty good.
It was terrible.
So Brendan here, when he graduated high school, right?
Yes.
He went to Europe. I'm introing you. Let me get you in the topic.
That intro, the way that you just slid into that was crazy.
Yeah,
anyway,
well,
keep going.
I can't wait to see what you do with my segment.
Keep going.
So, his parents were like, "Yo, we can throw you. Is this the grad party?
Yeah.
So they said we can either throw you a grad party or you can go to Europe. And naturally, Brendan chose the grad party.
Yeah. What else do you think I'm gonna say? No, give me a grad party.
He went to Europe. So, tell us about that and how that went and what you did and what you ate. And
that's a whole nother ballgame. Okay,
what you ate?
And I'll start from the beginning. So, when I was in middle school, I went to this band camp called Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. It's just like you go there for like a month.
What?
Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp.
Blue Lake? Was the lake blue? Was there a lake at all?
It's called Blue Lake. Yeah. Yeah, it's on a lake. It's on a giant. We're in Michigan. There's lakes everywhere. It's on a giant lake.
Blue though?
Yeah, dude. Water. Oh my god. Anyway, and it's like a camp. They have a theater section. They have a vocal thing, but their main thing is orchestras and bands, right? And it's a thing where you got to audition, and then if you do so well, you get a certain scholarship to get into the camp. And then, so you audition to get a certain scholarship to get into the camp. Once you get into the camp, you have to audition on first day you get there. You have to audition. You have to sight read for like 3 hours and audition, even when you're in 6th grade.
Ew.
For 3 hours outside in the middle of the summer in Michigan to get in your band that you're going to be in for the next month in the middle of the woods in Michigan. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun.
Is Michigan in Europe?
You're the worst. So So I did that for like 4 summers, I think, and then I was like in some of the top bands. My last couple of years, I was in the symphony orchestra or whatever. Anyway, so my senior year, and they've always had this international program. You know what I mean? And you see about it, you hear about it, that they send them to Europe, and it's this whole thing.
I've never heard about it.
Because you're not from Michigan and you don't go to Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. God. Oh my God.
I'm just getting on your nerves today.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Anyway, I'm just going to keep going.
Anyway. Me too.
So my parents, my senior year, were like, listen, you can either have a grad party, we can give you the money it would cost to throw you a grad party.
Oh, wow.
Or you can go to Europe, or you have to audition for us. You can audition for Blue Lake for international, and if you make it, we'll pay for you to go to Europe. So I was like, sign me up for that shit, because it sounds awesome. I'll be honest with you. The first thing that came to my head as an immature senior in high school, I was like, oh, the drinking age is like 16 in Europe. I'm going to go over there and just have so much fun and party.
Naturally, the first thing that comes in your head.
The other thing is initially, Italy was one of the spots we were going to go. And I was like, dude, I'm going to go to Italy and play in these Italian cathedrals and play for... This is going to be the best summer of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the best summer of my life. So
this is the best summer of your life?
No, it's definitely not.
Getting hot in the Franklin Theater?
No. The humidity
downtown
here
Franklin
is the worst. Anyway, so
whatever.
I auditioned and I made it, and I as percussion, I did all of this percussion, snare drum, bass drum, timpanis, mallets, all that kind of all that stuff. Sorry, I'm flustered. It's hot in here. It's been a long weekend. Anyway,
yet we are here for you.
Shout out you.
Anyway, subscribe.
So I made it into the band, and right before you leave on the trip, you go to the camp for 2 weeks to just learn the music, get to know the band and stuff. And the band that I was in, most of the people that go are actually high schoolers. So
well, yeah,
but like I just graduated high school.
Oh, I mean and it's freshman year and up,
dude, and even younger. Like if they're good enough, if they audition, they're good enough, they make the band.
Child prodigies.
Yeah, so it's like I'm in this band. I'm 18, and there's like 12 to 18-year-olds in this band. Literally, there was like a 7th grader in this band. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
I wouldn't like that.
But so here's the thing: is they kept us all like kind of like you're in the same band, but you don't hang out together. Like on the buses, we're on the same buses, and like. There was one of the percussionists she was 13 or whatever, but she was really nice and she was awesome. She was really good at mallets. She was on she knew all of her scales.
And could she hang with
the
17-year-olds? I
mean, as a musician and as a person,
yeah.
She was.
That's
dude.
Nice.
You have to audition to make. You can't just pay and get in. You have to audition and make the band.
Oh yeah.
So everybody that's in there is at a certain skill level, so that we don't go over to Europe and embarrass the U.S. with how bad we are. You know what I mean?
Embarrass the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't think Europe as a whole is.
I know.
This is the gauge at which we will measure the U.S.
In that moment when we're performing for that audience, we're representing America.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that bad. I'm not. I'm not like I don't have a flag on my arm like tattooed on me, but like you know what I mean. Anyway.
I don't want a flag.
Anyway. It was a lot of. Anyway, so we go over and. Unfortunately, Italy was never booked. They couldn't book any spots in Italy. So we only went to Germany and France.
Pause. What if we did a green room episode in Italy?
Yeah. If there's a green room in Italy that wants to host us,
please
DM me. I was just talking about I don't like the negative
me.
DMs. Send me the positive DMs.
No, DM me.
I'll be there on time.
Our flight would leave together.
I'm just kidding.
We wouldn't be on separate flights unless we could have private jet.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you better be. I want to go. Anyway.
And it was so much fun. So the thing was, you'd stay with a host family in each town for about 4 to 6 days. You and 1 or 2 other of the members of the band stay at a host.
How many
family.
went total?
Well, the camp there was like 7 or 8 bands that they sent, but my band probably had like 100 kids in it.
Oh,
100.
Okay,
some
so this
kids.
Isn't some small.
No, this is a full symphony orchestra. We didn't have strings, but you know what I mean? Like a full band. So me and I always got paired up, obviously, with the older kids because they didn't want.
Yeah, because you're old.
Well, and also it's like they pair us up with families that have kids your age. So not only are you experiencing the culture through the family and stuff, but like at night you go hang out with kids your age. You know what I mean? So it's like I always got paired up with this guy, Jacob. This was this guy.
Shout out Jacob.
Shout out Jacob. I haven't talked to him since, but he was the man. And me and Jacob, there's also the guy Brian that I was always paired up with. He was a great guy, and it was so much fun. I specifically shout out Lena in Puy-l'Évêque, France. Her and I still talk to this day. I stayed at her family's house for 5.5 days, just me and Jake. She, an amazing, amazing person. Her dad makes custom knives for the town, and he made me a knife, and I got it here in America.
How did you get it here?
I put it in with my toiletries.
Smooth.
Shout out. I don't recommend doing that. I should have gotten caught. I didn't though. But it was
coming
so
after you
much
now.
fun. I have videos. Maybe I don't know if I should, but I have. I could
videos
tag
of
in
you
this.
sneaking the knife in?
No. The family had multiple Porsches, and we're in France, and we would drive in the hills of France, and these Porsches, and it's just rolling hills. We're listening to French, like traditional French. It's like a movie. Like it just hills, and there's cows, and it's me. And Jake was in the car with her dad, and I was with Lena. So it's me and Lena in the car. She's got like her hair up in like a bayonet thing. She's got and it's like a movie. It's crazy. And like you wake up every morning and you just walk to the bakery and you get your bread for the day. You walk to the walk-up grocery market. You get your vegetables and fruits. I love European culture so much. And dude, Germany. It's crazy also, like the outlets are different, but the other thing that's different is the way that windows open is different. They don't open
That's
like...
what you took away from a month in Europe?
Well, I took away a lot, but one of the weird cultural things, the windows don't... You know how like open when you crank like a window open here, it opens either like a door. You know what I mean? Like it opens out.
Yeah.
There, they open up, like they tilt up and out, like the tops go... Like you can tip the top to go open or you can tip the bottom to go out. Like they pivot like a mirror, like a spinning mirror.
If you guys are just listening and not watching, I apologize.
Some crazy hand signals that I just was doing there.
For the lack of depiction he's giving.
I was explaining it too. Anyway, I need
Windows
to move on.
open this way. I know what you're saying.
It's awesome.
I've seen that. You've never seen it before?
No. I went to when I was there. I went to when I was in Germany. I went to Heidelberg, which is where like a lot of not Heidelberg. Shoot, I'm forgetting the name of it. There's a lot of amazing chocolate. I had some good chocolate. I have some kebab sandwiches that were amazing. But dude, some of these cathedrals that we're playing in were like massive, like the size of Notre Dame. And we went when it was burning down. And at one point when we were driving by it, you could see the smoke in the sky. You could see the smoke from Notre Dame like all the way on the other side of the city.
Uh-huh.
It was amazing. You walk into. Now we did have to unload all of our stuff, so it was like a little bit of like my first taste of like doing like the rigging stuff.
The roadie
we have trailers and we have put on gloves and we're pushing crates in and out of. It was kind of crazy, and it was the best summer of my life. It was so much fun playing in these cathedrals, and at one point we spent a week because Blue Lake has their own camp in France, and we combined with a French band and made one big band and did a show with them. And then that was like a week long. I don't remember a lot of them because it was a younger band that they had. But when we were leaving, the whole band was running on the street, chasing our vans, and they were like crying. And all these other kids on the bus were like crying, and it was a whole thing. It was amazing.
I bet you were bawling your eyes out.
I wasn't because I didn't know a lot of the kids in the band. The only few kids that I knew, one kid was named Igor. He was this German guy named Igor.
Nice.
Dude, he was the man. He was kind of quiet, but when he'd talk, he would just shit on people and just yell at you. It was the best. He was so funny. The last thing I'll explain, it was the best summer of my life. But the day we're supposed to fly, our flight gets canceled.
Oh.
That they booked 6 months in advance. It gets canceled the night before we're supposed to fly back to the U.S., so we are stranded in Paris for a day.
Oh no!
No, it would have been awesome, but
that's a sarcastic. Oh no!
The people they wouldn't allow us to leave the hotel because we're kids and stuff. They wouldn't let us like go to Paris.
Oh.
So they put us up in a hotel that night, and we had to stay in the hotel all the next day until it was time to leave for the airport.
That's weird.
So that kind of sucked. We didn't get time to like go into like Paris and just do our own thing, but it was amazing. It was the best summer of my life. If you've look up Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp, Go there. It's in Michigan. It's actually not that expensive to do just the summer camp. If you have the money and if you want to do a fine arts camp, it's so much fun. No phones, no technology. You just get away, and it's the best. Stay in a cabin. That's where I got my love for Whitney Houston, was at Blue Lake, because my third year there, I actually just DM'd my cabin counselor that I had. His alarm was "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston, and every morning
you told me that.
Every morning you wake up to that, and I still this morning I woke up to "I Want to." Every morning I wake up to cowbell. It's digital sample cowbell, but still, it's awesome. Shout out Whitney Houston. Shout out Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. You should go and do it. It's the best. All right. I am going to stop talking about Europe. If you, maybe someday in the future I'll talk about it, or again, more like about little stories and stuff. But
yes.
Anyway, I think you should talk about that tour thing you did.
That's an awful transition. Do a better
You get
one.
mad at my transition, but yours was awful also.
At least I tried.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You said, yeah, talk about your thing.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 96.4 The Heat. And today we got Massimo and Stefano with us. Tell us a hot story about his tour life. Massimo, dig in. Is that better?
No, but
that's all you're getting. So
I know, that's why.
Dig in.
Hi, I'm Massimo.
Sorry. Anyway, keep going. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, to give you some background. So I go to St. Philip, which is, if you're around Franklin, Tennessee, it's like, 2-3 blocks from here.
First Street, yeah.
Yeah. And I forget how many years ago, 5, 6, 7, something like that. A wonderful, wonderful man named John Angotti became our music director. He's coming from Memphis, and I didn't know John. He's big in like the Catholic music world circles.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know who he was. And then as you do with anyone, because I am involved in the choirs and the bands and everything that goes on there. You look him up and you're like, oh, okay. He has his own kind of career in music as a solo artist, but he also does, or is a music director at different churches, and now he's at mine. It's something he's always done for 20 something odd years. Is he goes on a Christmas tour every Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough, along with a buddy of mine, Brian Connolly, to go on our first one in 2021.
Right out of COVID.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember you going on this tour.
Yeah, you were here, weren't you?
Yeah, I knew you at the time.
Yeah. And that was a blast. It was me, John, Brian.
Just three of you?
No, I'm thinking of the rest of the names. JT on bass. JT is the best bass player. No offense to you. He's
Sorry,
like
I'm not the best.
this 60-something-year-old man, and he's known John forever. And so you can actually go watch this on my YouTube channel. I vlogged that first run, and he didn't care for having the camera on him. He made it known to me and everyone around him. It's a funny vlog. It was a good time. So please, I encourage you to watch that. I get to play drums for him. And there's another guitar player, and I can't remember his name, and I feel really bad.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was pretty good. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. He's probably not going to watch this anyway.
Shout out you.
Yeah. It was...
Keep going.
What are you laughing at? I'm telling my story.
I know.
I didn't laugh during your story.
No,
I just made really snide comments.
Yeah. So it's a problem when I do it.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy at its finest.
The amount of aggression coming from that side of the chair
Keep
here.
Going.
Oh my goodness.
Going.
Anyway, so John, it was nice kind of thing because we went out for like a week, came back for a few days, went out for a few days, came back. Like it wasn't this just one continuous thing, which was nice, especially for that was my first tour, quote unquote, like out for multiple days, different cities most nights.
Yeah.
And we went around, I think we started in Fort Wayne that year, Indiana. And we did a lot in the Midwest. and then John, and with the band, we had the Sprinter van and everything. It was the van life. And then John always does a few dates by himself out west, like California and Nevada. And then he usually does one back here in Nashville, and then we usually end in Memphis. He'll do something, and all of these venues, it's most like 90% of them are churches,
Like mega churches.
not mega churches.
Hey, I gotta ask.
It's
I don't
just
know.
a church.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Catholics have mega churches. Like we have big cathedrals
Yeah,
and
I
churches.
was just asking. I don't
No,
know.
I don't know. I think mega churches. I think Protestants.
And Christian, like the
I didn't mean to say it like that.
Christian thing.
I don't know.
Anyway.
No, it was big. Like, I like going into different churches and stuff because you can tell when they're built. like
Yeah.
if it's like this more modern looking thing
Like
with
like the one we did that one time when you did
the
sound.
cathedral.
Yeah, were they like that size? Is that
Um,
because that
Some
I
of them-
consider that a mega church.
that's a cathedral.
The one that when you did sound and I was behind
That's
the curtain.
the Cathedral of Nashville.
Oh.
So I guess you could call
It's
it
like
mega.
it's a new age cathedral because it doesn't look like an
No.
old timey cathedral like on the outside.
Yeah, but it,
You know, like I think half of being a cathedral is looking old school and like, you know what I mean? Like
nah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe for you, but like
When I think cathedral, I think of like old school, like big, pointy, with the giant old cross. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's just funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
No, they all weren't that. size.
so you're doing Christmas songs for all this, right?
Not necessarily. We're doing. John has his own stuff, and he'll throw in like. I love John, but sometimes like we were in somewhere in Iowa, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna do some Beatles tonight," and then he just did it like on. He didn't actually. I don't even think he told us beforehand.
songs?
No, not the songs, but he didn't tell us we're gonna do Let It Be before we started, and then he was because he always does a little like talking between songs and intros it, and then he's like, "And we're gonna do Let It Be." I look at Brian, we're like, "Okay." Not that I don't know the song, but I was like, okay, "Hey, this
See,
is
that's
what we're
when
doing."
that's when you gotta just pull through. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
no.
Those are the best parts, I think, actually, when you're playing.
It was great.
And the singer just pulls something out, and you all of a sudden you're playing that, and you're like, "Let's do it." I think it's fun.
It was a blast, and I've never eaten better than when I'm out with John because we half the time we're staying in people's houses that just put us up, and they cook for us. And like this last, because I went out last year, I wasn't playing drums. I was doing sound, aux percussion, and vocals, as opposed to just drums because he got his drummer Dion to come out.
You know what you should do if you do it again?
What?
You should like bring your own, like, you know how like Grateful Dead, they have a drummer and then they have an aux drummer, but it's literally he sits at a drum set, but he's got like the wood brushes.
Yeah.
And he has like
Hot
a bunch
rods.
of, like congas and toms, but he plays them like, you know what I mean? But he's got a drum set and he's got like effect cymbals and stuff.
Well, I brought.
do
I
that.
didn't
It'd be
have that
cool.
much. I brought congas. I brought a cymbal just for extra pizzazz, and a tambourine, shakers. You know, it was.
Dude, a
It
little
doesn't
bit
need
of
that much.
sidebar. Last night, the Elvis thing, the drummer had this china that he was using.
I saw that.
It was so cool. It was a bright, short china. So, pss, pss, pss. It was really short. It was like a
Could you do that again?
more of like a stack than a china.
Could you do it again?
Pss, pss. It's more like a stack than a china. It was sweet. It was sweet.
I'm gonna zoom in on the camera.
That's
when
fine.
you
It's
do
called
that.
being comedic. Did it on purpose, people. Anyway,
What was I talking?
my question is:
food?
so you went out. You said it's a Christmas tour though, so you did like some Christmas songs.
He's got a Christmas album, and that's what we mostly.
But is it
pulled
okay?
from.
But my question is it like songs that everybody's gonna know that are Christmas songs, or is it just
Half and half.
Okay.
Half and half. It's actually maybe more on the stuff you would know, and just his renditions of it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
they're actually
yeah.
they're pretty fun. Some of them are really fun.
Really?
Not gonna lie. I think he has a second Christmas album, but it's not on Spotify because there's stuff that we play that's not there. Like he has a Dropbox. He said, I love it. He sends me a Dropbox last year or the year before of like it's just called All My Music, and it's everything
his music.
like gigabytes and gigabytes of music, like recordings, sheet music, like B recording. Like it's, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
You got everything at your disposal. Yeah.
But no, it was great. It was a fun time. It gave me that nice little taste of being out on the road, and I think I like it. Although the first year, our van broke down, and thank God it was on an off day. Like we didn't have to be anywhere that night, and we ended up getting I don't like a SUV, and we hitched a small the small U-Haul trailer on it. But it was raining, and then I got wet inside, and now you're fitting 5 people into a small SUV, and me and the 2 guitar players like this in the back because JT's not going to sit in the back; he's going to drive, and John's going to take a nap when he's not driving. So, but I don't know. It was a ton of fun, and we have already talked a little bit about going back out again this year. I think if Dion goes back out again, which I hope he does, he's a great drummer. Then I'll probably just be doing sound this year, because now they bought some new gear. So it'll be nice to kind of test that out.
Is
it's actually...
Is it the M32?
I don't know if I'm going to bring the M32. I don't know if I do that. Because he's got his own Mackie system, which I'll probably bring. Look, I don't need much, man. I don't want to lug an M32. I'm not going to lie.
I know, but I just don't get it. They literally... it's so much more fun.
I know.
Then why not do that?
Because we're limited on space, and it's not as heavy.
Yeah, but isn't it his stuff also?
No, that stuff's the church's.
Oh, well, but could you have permission to use it, and could you take it?
I think.
Do you actually have the room for it, and you just don't want to?
It depends on whatever the van size he gets.
I feel like it's crazy to not use that.
Because we got to fit drums, guitars, amps, PAs, monitors, everything. And we've never brought a console that big. It's always been this little suitcase of the...
I don't know.
So I don't think it would fit.
I would use that every single time. 10 out of 10 times.
Dude, I don't...
It's not that hard to set up. It's just not easy.
It's not that. I'll show you a picture after of the way the van looks when it's packed up. Like we open the doors half the times and it spills out.
You don't think that you guys could just upgrade to it?
He won't want to pay for that.
Just also get a U-Haul trailer on the back so you have the van and a little trailer? Hey, I'm just throwing it out there.
John's been doing this for 20-something years. He's not going to...
I'm just throwing it out there.
That ain't going to happen.
I don't know.
No.
Dude, last night, the show... I know we weren't planning on talking about this, but I need to talk about it a little bit.
Spill.
Hold on, I need to get my bearings. I need to get my bearings. So we had it ended up being a great show last night here. But I wanted to talk about, dude, so it's a like an Elvis tribute act, right?
Yeah.
But each member of the band was also their own individual tribute artist to another artist. The second keys player was a Frank Sinatra tribute artist. The lead keys player, I believe, was a young Billy Joel or a young one of those piano guys.
Yeah,
maybe it might have been Elton John. I'm sorry, I don't really remember. The Elvis guy was obviously Elvis. The guitar player was a Johnny Cash one, and he looked exactly like a young Johnny Cash to a T. The bass player said that he sometimes does Elvis. He had a great Temptations voice, super high, to do those harmonies. Doop, 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 and I don't think the drummer did tribute stuff, but he definitely
that was 7 toms. Yeah,
7 toms.
7 toms.
He definitely does a lot of stuff because he had a lot of metal influence. I could tell because it was double kick and the way he was playing. Some of his fills were very metal. So it was a cool it was an interesting band because it was a lot of people that are their own artists, but also kind of, doing this big thing. It was cool. And the Elvis guy that played Elvis looked exactly like him, bro. But what I thought was even cooler is when he was showed up for rehearsal and he was just there, he dressed like how Elvis kind of would dress when he was doing rehearsal. But it was the most fly out because, he's got the big old mutton chops.
Yeah.
And then he had a bandana on his head, big old aviator. So all you saw was his bottom half of his face and the bottom half of his mutton chops. Did you just hear that music start playing?
Yeah. Who's playing music?
I don't know. Anyway, I don't think you guys will be able to pick it up, but that just
maybe it's the speakers.
Caught me off guard.
You keep going.
it just got way louder. What was that? But anyway, but he was wearing a Canadian suit, right? Like a jean shirt, jean pants, jeans and a jean shirt or whatever, right? And then cowboy boots, but it was so fly. He just looked so fly. I thought it was awesome. It was, if I looked like that, I would dress like that. This body would not look good in that kind of outfit. This body would not look good in that kind of... I just realized that these legs have been crossed the whole time. So I hope this isn't a bad angle for you guys listening. If you want to see something really crazy, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but look at this tan line that I have from my legs.
I can see it from
It's
here.
a bad tan line. I went home for my younger brother's birthday, first week of July here, and he had a baseball tournament while it was his birthday weekend, so I went there to watch his baseball tournament. But man, I didn't think about it, and I got a little burnt. It's since gone away because it's been like a week and a half now. But when I first came back, my legs were red.
I know. That was the first thing you showed me.
They were red. It was
bad.
The
first thing you showed me.
What was that sound? You want to tell the folks what that sound was?
We have this like intercom thing, and we can hear what's going on in the theater.
Yeah.
And the knob was turned up, and someone was playing music. So,
hey, can't win them all.
Unbelievable.
What an interesting episode this has been.
It really has.
Between the Heat and 96 for the Heat, and that impromptu.
That's all you, man.
And that impromptu little ending there with the radio. That was interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoy that. That was very scatterbrained today, very ADHD exhaustive. But hey,
we're not
gotta catch them all.
Socials are down below. We're on TikTok.
Yep.
I'm on YouTube. We're on both on Instagram.
Exciting guests coming up. Exciting guests coming up. Very excited. Very excited. Watch out. Next episode's a big one.
Yes,
next episode is a big one, folks.
You're not gonna want to miss it.
Don't. Please listen. Anyway,
okay, don't beg here. Gosh.
Hey.
Don't miss it, please.
96.4. Don't miss it next week on the Green Room Podcast.
Okay. I'm Massimo. That's Brendan.
Yep, I'm Brendan.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Franklin Theater.
Yeah, just look up our stuff.
Ciao.
Peace.